העצרת לשחרור החטופים. מיד מתחילים. העצרת לשחרור החטופים. שים עין על הדברים. Shalom. Hello. How are you? Great.
One. Ari? One. We'll be starting in 10 minutes.
Sugar.
Please don't engage, please. Thank you. She's from Toronto. She doesn't know our rules. That's a good idea. Ignore them. Please don't answer back. Please ignore. We are here for a reason. Please don't pay attention.
Look into my eyes and see people walk away but never said goodbye. Someone stole the moon tonight, so come on lie. Everything is black and white. Who's the fool who told you boys don't cry? Hours and hours and hours. Life is no game, but it's ours. While the time goes by, every day I'm losing my mind, holding on in this mysterious ride, dancing in the storm. I got nothing to hide. Take it all and leave the world behind. Baby, promise me you'll hold me again. I'm still broken from this hurricane. This hurricane. living in a fantasy, ecstasy. Everything's meant to be. We shall pass, but love will never die. Hours and hours and hours. Life is one game, but it's ours. While the time goes by, every day I'm losing my mind, holding on in this mysterious ride, dancing in the storm. I got nothing to hide. Take it all and leave the world behind. Baby, promise me you'll hold me again. I'm still broken from this hurricane. This hurricane. צריך מילים גדולות, רק תפילות, אפילו אם קשה לראות, תמיד אתה משאיר לי אור אחד קטן.
Everybody, please move to the center. We're going to begin in just a moment. Come forward into the center, and we're going to begin.
We have plenty of posters and flags taking the sides. We're going to begin.
Fabulous. Okay, great. There you go. Okay. All right. Hey, Ari, I need sound on the keyboard. Oh, just fake it. Sure. Oh, says shalom, Imrama. Uya says shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Israel, Ve'imru, Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for all of us, people of Israel, and all the souls who inhabit this world. Peace for everybody. Oh, says shalom, Roma. Uya says shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Israel, Ve'imru, Amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, Amen. song for healing. Please join in on this song. If you know the words, just join with us. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah, shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish people, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Last night, marking 10 months since the October 7th attacks with 115 hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza, the Hostages Families Forum held a support rally in Hostages Square. The rally, which took place at the beginning of a crucial week for negotiations, saw families of the hostages and thousands of Israelis call out to the Prime Minister. This is your moment of truth. Show leadership and bring them home. Natali Ben Ami, daughter of Ohad Ben Ami and Hamas captivity survivor Raz Ben Ami, Dad, I'm sorry you're still there, still suffering and reliving October 7th every single day. I still can't understand how it's possible that you're left in that hell. For almost a year now, we've been fighting and doing everything to bring you home. For almost a year, the war continues in our home, in Be'eri, in the south, and simultaneously in the north, against Iran, against the Hamas. But what scares me most, Dad, what's most dangerous is that we might get used to this reality, that we're living with and accepting it, 115 hostages, abandoned every day, every hour, every minute anew. We refuse to get used to this. We can't accept this reality because we can create a different reality. We can make a deal. We need to make a deal and we need to do it now. Lishai Lavi Miran, wife of Omri Miran, addressed Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. You're a man of faith. For you, redeeming captives isn't an empty concept. It's a sacred commandment. And I know that deep down you feel exactly like we do, that only a deal will bring them home. Yesterday you tweeted that this is a surrender deal. What exactly are you calling surrender? Bringing 115 human beings home, saving lives, bringing the fallen for a proper burial, all this Jewish and humane values you call surrender? We're fighting against a culture of violence and death, not to become like it. Terrorists violently broke in our home and tore Omri away from us. I don't need to be taught who we are dealing with. We'll get back to them. But for now is the time to save lives. Yamit Ashkenazi, sister of Doron Steiberger. My little sister has been for 10 months now, not eating, not drinking, not wearing clean clothes, exposed at every moment to sexual, mental, and physical abuse, and with her 114 more hostages. Tisha B'Av remind us of the destruction of the temple and the tragedies of the past, of the baseless hatred and lack of unity that broke apart and scattered the people. Are we facing the destruction of the third temple? Ignoring our core values of mutual responsibility, brotherhood, and redeeming captives will lead us there. Rachel Tzarfati, mother of the late Ophir Tzarfati, as a nation, we've always believed in the value of all Israel, Kol Israel Arabim Echad L'Sheni. Please ignore, please, the stage is here. Please look this way. We always believed that we must bring our children home and ensure their safety. But now, when we have a real opportunity to bring our sons and daughters back to their families, are we hesitating? On Tisha B'Av, we remember the destructions of our people have faced. But do we understand that we might cause another destruction? A destruction of values, of faith, of humanity. Will we cause a third destruction if we forget our hostages? I beg you, don't forget the hostages. Don't let your hearts harden. Look at their pictures. See their smiles, the hope in their eyes. They're waiting for us to save them. And last one, Moshe Tayer, uncle of late Yogev Bukeshpat. When Yogev and Rimon were kidnapped, we didn't cry. We believed we had the strongest army in the world, and it was only a matter of hours or days until they'd return. As day turns into weeks, we still didn't cry because the nation and the world stood with us, and some children and women started to return. When the phased releases stopped, we didn't cry because we trusted in the wisdom of our leaders. We didn't cry when Hamas claimed Yogev was killed and the army denied it, nor when the army started returning bodies. We wanted to cry but didn't, hopeful for those who might still return alive. Don't let your hearts harden. Look at the pictures. We didn't cry when Hamas claimed, We wanted to cry but didn't. We still didn't cry, asked to keep it a secret to protect others. We swallowed our tears, hid our pain, and suffered in growing silence. In the end, when the news was made public, we couldn't cry because we'd forgotten how. Instead, we remembered hope, felt anger growing and surging, and thought of our brothers and sisters who lived away in captivity minute by minute. We remember the betrayed, the compliments in abandonment, and persist to this day to let our people go. Bring them home now. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. I would like to invite our first speaker. Eleanor Sturko is the Conservative Party of BC MLA for Surrey South. Before entering politics, Eleanor was a sergeant in the RCMP and a soldier in the Canadian Armed Forces. Please, Eleanor.
Thank you. I find myself emotional today. I find myself emotional today. And I didn't know that I would be. But, I was given this sticker, 310 days. And then I look at this poster with the face of a child turning 1 year old. And I myself, I'm a mother. And I just feel that pain, and I know that you feel the pain too. And when we stand here and we're united, and we're asking, please, bring them home, I know that we speak with a united voice. And I just want you to know that on behalf of the Conservative Party that I'm representing, that we stand with you, that we stand with the community. And there's no need to thank us, because this is what we do for each other. And it's never okay, regardless of what your purpose is, to take hostages. It is not okay, and we demand that they bring them home, and they bring them home now. So thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to be a voice of those who remain held. Thank you for including me, and thank you for sharing this emotional time with me. So on behalf of our party, behalf of my community, we are standing with you, and that won't change. Thank you.
Yeah. Like you can come closer, because there aren't that many of us, and it feels a bit far. It looks like there's more of us if we're closer together. And also, we've been here for 10 months. It's been bonding some of us, and faces that I see, I've made new friends and and it's just heartwarming to see people still coming week after week and not forgetting the hostages. Thank you. I couldn't stand here on my own. Well, I could, but it wouldn't be good enough. I would. Even with one Protestant. I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Jessie Samuels. She's also, it's not written here, but she volunteers weekly. She really, really helps a lot. We need more volunteers for this to happen every single week. Because if it wasn't for this equipment, we wouldn't be able to have a proper rally just with, I guess, a megaphone. Jess Samuels is a member of IATSE, Local 891, who works as a stitcher and a pattern drafter in the film and television industry, and was a costume mistress of 219th production of Miss Ellen Pugh, a love story. Jess was a performer and a social media promoter of Van's first Pride show in 2013, and they were a content and creative photographer for the Emancipation March in 2020, which celebrated BC's recognition of August 1st as Emancipation Day. Jessica.
Thank you, Daphne, and really thank you for everything that you've done here in the past 10 months, because it really gives us a place to come every week, and I know that that's been really important for me, and I know it's important for everyone else here too. So thank you. I'm Jessie, like Daphne said. I'm a proudly Zionist Jew, and I'm proudly queer. My partner and I have been to this rally nearly every single week since October 7th. I invite my friends, and I'm disappointed every single week when they don't show up. In part because there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about every single one of the hostages who's still being held by Hamas. I wonder about the hell they're enduring and how worried and devastated their friends and family surely are. I think about how it seems as though the international media, and in particular Canadian media, have forgotten our hostages, and I think that there is no justice in that. I know that the only justice is in ensuring that we bring them all home. And I know that international pressure on Hamas to release the hostages and lay down their arms will only help in this mission of ours. The theme this week is justice. And last week, in part because of Vancouver Pride Society's annual Pride Parade and safety concerns, our rally was canceled. This is my son. And I completely understand the reasons for canceling the rally. Safety is really important. But I do have to wonder, where is the justice in bending to the will of groups who are promoting hatred and calling for violence? With anti-Semitism exploding all over this country, now more than ever, it is important for queer Jews to be seen, heard, and celebrated alongside the wider queer community and Jewish community. Whether it is the 6 genders spoken of in the Mishnah and the Talmud, or it's the group of Jewish lesbians in Vancouver in 1982 who formed a discretion group and began organizing Unlearning Anti-Semitism and Unlearning Racism workshops, or it's Major Sagi Golan, who was killed fighting terrorists in Kibbutz Be'eri 13 days before his wedding to partner Omer Ohana. Queer Jews have always been here. We've been fighting for the Jewish community throughout our history and for the inclusion of and justice for Jews and LGBTQ2+ people in mainstream society all along. And we will continue to be here fighting for our achim because that is what is just. But our expulsion from queer spaces in this city because of propagandistic misconceptions about Zionism is based on ideas that are antithetical to a justice-seeking liberal democratic society. Right now, we need the wider Jewish community. And I believe that the wider Jewish community needs us too. Especially it is our queer and trans Jewish youth who need you. They are growing up in a world that seeks to strip them of their Jewishness and their love of Israel in order to gain access to communities they wish to be a part of. Right now, all over Vancouver and BC, to stand in favor of the Jewish people's right to self-determination in our ancestral homeland is to be excommunicated from queer spaces. We need you to be there for us, to accept us, and to celebrate us and our achievements as you would anyone else. We need you to help us create spaces and events within the Jewish community for queer Jews. We need opportunities for our youth to learn about the thousands of years of Jewish history in the Levant and about the many contributions of LGBTQ2+ Jews to our community. We need you to help us combat the accusations of pinkwashing put forth by legacy and social media outlets, not because it's easy or because it's a gotcha point for queers against Queers for Palestine, but because you know and understand that queer Jews belong in the Jewish community. There is so much that unites us all. Whoever we are, wherever we come from, if we're Israeli, if we're diaspora Jews, queer or not, we have kept the same culture, language, ethnicity, and religion over thousands of years and all over the globe. Our history is shared and so is our trauma. And more specifically, in the last 10 months, being here in support of bringing our hostages home has united us. Our pain, our sorrow, and our relentless desire to get justice for the hostages by bringing them out of the hell they are living in has kept us one. As Jews, we are not a people who cut off parts of our community. We make community. We bring each other in. Our traditions teach us that offering tzedakah in our community is a form of justice. And like our chant says, they will never be alone. We will bring our people home. So let's prove our commitment to justice and equality, embrace all of our community, show our youth that they will always have a safe and joyful place in the Jewish community, and let's get justice for every single one of our hostages and bring them home now. Woo!
I would like to call our next and last speaker. Rabbi Carrie Brown is Associate Rabbi of Temple Shalom in Vancouver. She's also a fellow of the Rabbinic Leadership Institute of Shalom Hartman Institute, a cohort of 25 rabbinic leaders from across North America and Israel that focuses upon the most pressing issues facing the Jewish people in Israel and the diaspora. She just returned from 3.5 weeks of study with a rabbinic cohort in Jerusalem in July and will share with us some of her reflections being there 9 months into the war and the hostage crisis. Thank you.
So thank you, Daphna. Closer to me. Okay. So as Daphna mentioned, I just came back from spending most of July in Jerusalem. And it was both wonderful to be in Israel and to be connected and so deeply rooted in that place, but also very, very difficult, as you can imagine. And one of the things that struck me so deeply about my time there was in seeing every which way you turned on the street, the faces and the names of the hostages. On every bus stop, on every building and wall and street sign, they were there. And it wasn't just the red and black posters like we have and we've been carrying these 10 months and putting here on our streets in Vancouver, but there were personalized ones as well, with notes from friends and family, drawings, art, things that connected so deeply to the individuals who are being held in Gaza still today. It's not surprising, we know the connections in the small population in Israel, but still it struck home so poignantly. I went to rallies there in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv at Kikar the hostage square. And I need to tell you that there is a pleading desperation that is being heard from the families of these hostages. We know it so well, the way in which every day is one day too many, that we need to bring them home now. But what I really want to bring to all of us here in Vancouver is a sense of the emotional urgency that connects us as one family around the globe to the situation of all of these hostages and their families. It's hard coming back, as it always is coming back from Israel. But one of the things that really struck me here was just driving around town and noticing no posters. Very clean, well, it's Canada, so it's clean, but clean bus stops. That, like Jesse said, the names, the faces of these hostages are not in the news as they once were. That is our job here and elsewhere in the world, to make sure that we keep them in the light, that we make sure that the world knows that they must come home. As Daphna mentioned, tomorrow night begins Tisha B'Av, this day of the 9th of the Hebrew month of Av, in our tradition, a day of mourning. It's the saddest day on our calendar. It's said that both temples were destroyed on Tisha B'Av and other difficult days in our history. It's a day when we're called upon to sit in memory, to sit in the sadness of difficulty. And this year, it is no stretch to do that. It is not an exercise of ancient memory, but of the painful experience of modern and contemporary trauma that we are living through. It's our tradition to read keynote, these words of lamentation, poems, beautiful dirges that have been written, weaving together the present and past to create a beautiful and haunting tableau of pain and sorrow. And actually, I invite you, if you want to look online, there are some incredible keynote that have been written since October 7th. But Tisha B'Av is also a day when we are encouraged to cry out, to weep out loud. Whatever is your personal practice, if you go to shul and hear Eicha, the Book of Lamentations, or fast, you ignore it usually altogether. Let's join together this year in focusing our hearts on the power of being a community crying out. And in that action, in our crying, we might actually lead to a better day. I want to leave us with a well-known verse from Eicha, from that book that we read on Tisha B'Av. It's actually the second to last verse, and then we repeat it again because it's so important. Hashivenu Hashem elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Bring us back, God, and we will return. Let's hear this year, let's read it maybe a little bit differently on top of its traditional meaning. Hashivehem Hashem v'nashuva. Bring them back, and we will return. Bring them back to allow us to return to hope and to peace in our world. Thank you.
Very much. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through patriot love and all our sons' command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Aleva Enima, Nefesh Yehudi Olia, צרפת מזרח קדימה, עין בציון סופיה. עוד לא עבדה פתתנו העתיקה שנות הבאים, בהיותם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים. בהיותם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We're not a big crowd, but we will be marching today. Nachum is going to give the guidelines.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Just a few guidelines before we start. We ask that everyone please stay together as tight as possible. We ask that when we're especially on Georgia, that we leave 2 feet from the orange line to leave room for the police to go up and down. Please stay off the sidewalks. And if anyone comes and starts yelling things at us, we're not going to entertain that. We're just going to keep walking and doing our thing. I'm Israel Thai. Let's go.
I do ask you to stay for this. There aren't that many of us. We need as many people as we can. So
עד
we
כאן
show presence, we
עצרת
show
לשחרור
strength
החטופים
together as a community. Please bring
מוונקובר,
flags,
310 ימים בשבי, בתקווה שלא נהיה כאן בשבוע הבא. עם ישראל חי.
with a banner. Guys, face the banner. Now we're going to walk with that banner. We need 2 more people for the banner. It's right on my hand, on my right hand, please.